Anininaabemowin again. Today we're gonna go over the CH worksheet lesson. This right? Okay. All right, where did my stuff go? Sorry. Okay, so using the table work scripts for writing CH, practicing writing CH, there is a companion lesson in transparentlanguage.com, and the documents are in the Google Classroom, as well as the videos and anything else that, like the verbs, the word lists, everything, the document that goes along with this. So I would suggest, looking at the document first and just reviewing it before coming to this video. There are going to be some verb types that you might not be familiar with because we've only covered VAI verbs so far, the kind where it describes what a person is doing, but not what they are doing something to, or VAIs have no transferable actions. So again, lisene, he is eating, but we don't know what he is eating. So this lesson includes something called a VTI verb. We covered that briefly in the very first lesson on verb types. VTI verbs include a transfer of action from an animate being to an object. And so that might be something like omijin, he is eating it. So you might say omijin mean, he is eating a blueberry, and you have an object in that sentence. So in this case, in this one, we might use the VTI verb such as trace it versus just trace, because there's something that is receiving the action of being traced. So here we have trace it, and that verb exists in command form, Maajibii'an, trace it, and that is an automatic command to the second person, you, trace it to a singular person. So like you're saying that to one single student. So, and they conjugate a little bit differently, though pretty similarly to VAI verbs. One thing that I really like about the verb types in this language is, although it might seem overwhelming at first, the conjugation patterns are consistent. So you can tell once you have the endings of all the verbs memorized, which verb type is being used. So I could automatically hear Ojibwemowin, and I would know that there would be an object coming or being referred to somewhere because of that awa at the end. I know that is only on VTI verbs. So take that with a grain of salt. For the most part, it's only on VTI verbs. As we get further and we start talking about VTA, where there's a transfer of action from person to a person, you might see that awa sandwiched in verbs somewhere once in a while, but for the most part, that's how you can tell that you can tell by the ending of a verb what type of verb it is. And that's because they consistently follow patterns. But I'm going on a tangent, so sorry. Imagine that you have your paper up on a whiteboard or a screen or something like this for your class. It's circle time, they're all sitting at the carpet, and you're explaining what you're going to be doing. You might start out by saying, you all will be tracing these letters. In that case, you would say, or you all will be practicing tracing or writing these letters. So you would say, Ojibwemowin ono ikidowinensing che. And we have get, which is that piece of gin, meaning you. We, future tense. Maajibii'an. Maajibii'an is practice writing it. Oje is that part of the word that means practice. B is the part of the word that means writing. On it's extended from un to on because there's a person attached to it. So right now it says you, singular, will practice writing it, some unknown it that we haven't referred to yet. But we're talking to more than one you. We're talking to a classroom of students. So giwi Ojibwemowin wa. This is yous will practice writing it. But since they're practicing writing more than one it, we need the plural n on there. And we say oh no. For these, oh no, these. Ikidowin. Kidowin is the word, means a word. Ikidowinens. That's diminutive, referring to a letter, ikidowinens. And then un, because there's more than one letter. And this right here is plural agreement, where the object receiving the action is pluralized on the end of the verb and on the object. So that means you can tell that there's more than one object. Giwi Ojibwemowin ono ikidowinensing. And when I'm saying it, I would be tracing these to give that description. Giwi Ojibwemowin ono ikidowinensing. I'm going to be practicing writing them. And then you would, so I'm sorry, I misspoke. Maajibii'an means practice writing. And then you might say, Anishinaabemowin wa no ikidowinensing. So the only thing that I changed in that sentence is instead of goje, I have nabe. Nabe. Be on awa. Now nabe is yous will trace anawan. Yous will trace them. Oh no, these ikidowinensing. Now oh no ikidowinensing me Maajibii'an minawa agijayi'ii. So there are big letters. No ikidowinensing me Maajibii'an, meaning they are big. Ikidowinensing letters. Oh no, these letters. Oh no ikidowinensing me Maajibii'an, they are big. Minawa and agijayi'ii, they are small. Anishinaabemowin. Which ones are big? And I might do something like Anishinaabemowin ikidowinensing. And if they point to a big C or a big H, nijishin, giminochige, good job. C, Maajibii'an. H, Maajibii'an. C, Minawa, H, Maajibii'an. C is big, H is big, CH are big. Anin, Dinawa, agijayi'ii. Which ones are small? Oh no, C, Minawa, H, agijayi'ii. These CHs are little. Aha, giminochige, good job. And then you might tell them all, go sit at your tables. Kinawia, onamatabig, adupwinaning. Oh, go. Nomadabig, you all sit. Adupwinan, tables. Ing, at the tables. The ing is that locative that you tack onto the end of the object to mean at, in, or on. Okay. So then let's say you're going around helping individual students with the individual lesson. So now you're just talking to one singular you. Let's see if I can. All right. Giwi Maajibii'an ono ikidowinens. You're going to trace these letters. Giwi Maajibii'an ono ikidowinens. Lakon dib gidujviganak dibishko o. Hold your pencil like this. Dibishko o means like this. Dakon, hold him, because a pencil is animate. Ojibwemowin is a pencil. Gidujviganak, you're putting the possessive on it, your pencil. Inishke, if you look close here, you've got the one, a one and a two, or a one, a two, and a three, or over here we've got one, two. So we'll use these ones over here. Here you will start writing at the one. Oma means here. Oma giga Maajibii'an ayamagak basic. So ayamagak, where it is, or it is in a certain place. Basic, one. Maajibii'an is start writing. Maaji is the piece of the word that means start. B is the piece of the word that means write. So giga oma giga Maajibii'an ayamagak basic. Ge ije. Okay. Oh, God, sorry. Oma giga Maajibii'an ayamagak basic. Ge ije. Ojibwemowin ayamagak niche. So we'll go over that, but if you remember from our B form lesson with VAI verbs, that was that dependent clause, ge ishe, meaning then you'll write at the two. Then right at the two. So like in the Ojibwe sentence, that is a dependent clause. It could be an independent clause if you put a period after the first part in English, but in Ojibwe, it is dependent. So if you use ge'eji, you need that B form ending on the verb Ojibwe. So I just said ge'eji, Ojibwe yun. The yun is the you, singular. Ayamagaknij, at two. You could simplify it by saying, that first part, Oma giga Maajibii'an ayamagak basic minoa giga Maajibii'an ayamagak niche. But that doesn't really give the idea of the order of succession. First, you start writing at one, and then you start writing at two. The ge'eji is like that idea of and then, which is why you need the B form and the B form following ge'eji. Ge'eji will always precede a B form verb. If you have questions on that, feel free to make comments in the Google Classroom on this lesson. Just say, I have a question about the ge'eji B form, and I will add an additional micro lesson on what that is. All right, so Maajibii'an agiji-akidowinens. Start writing at the top of the letter. Ojibwemowin oma binish oma. Right from here to here. Binish is like the idea of until or to. Oma here, binish until, oma here. Weweni Ojibwemowin. Write neatly. Weweni Ojibwemowin. Go to tune. Anishinaabemowin. Weweni. Try to follow the lines. Go to tune Anishinaabemowin. Sorry, go to tune Anishinaabemowin Weweni. So over here, write it, Ojibwemowin. I think on the paper, on the paper it said draw it, and I thought that's kind of a weird thing to say for writing letters, but Maajibii'an means draw it. Either of them kind of work really, but I said Ojibwemowin because I'm being like specific. So Ojibwemowin, write it. Oh, Gigi wouldn't be okay. Migo mano. You made a mistake writing. Gigi wouldn't be okay. Migo mano. That's okay. Migo mano. Na Gigi na Maajibii'an. You wrote it backwards. Gigi Maajibii'an. Agiji-akidowinens. You should erase it. Agiji-akidowinens. You should change it. So agiji-akidowinens, I erased it. Nindan Nindanjatun, I'm changing it. Gogwejatun minoa. Try it again. Yeah. Ningugwejatun minoa. I'm trying again. You could demonstrate and say, oh, dibishko o. Kadawa should be okay. You should write it like this. Dibishko o. Now, what are we doing over here? Mushkinebian. And we've got a variety of letters. You could say ganawabandan, ch, wawie waning, ganawabandan, wawie waning. Find the ch and color it in. Mikan egasag ch, ge ijimushkine bi aman. So egasag, that's the word for it is small. Mikan means find it. So find the small ch. And then we have ge ishi again. Ge ishi mushkine bi aman. Mushkine is to color it or to fill it in, color it. And we've got the aman, which is a B form ending. So Ingi Mikan, I found it. Egasagin, egasag, ch. Ingi mushkine bi on. I colored it in. Mikan Maychag. Mikan Maychag. Maychag. CH. Maychag ch. Ge mushkine bi aman. Find the big CH. Ge and then mushkine bian. Color it in. Mushkine bi aman. That aman is that B form ending. Ingi mushkine bian. I colored it in. Ingi mikan. I found it. Yaminochige. Good job. Inashke gashketun. Inashke ge gashketun. Sorry, I misspoke there. Inashke ge gashketun. That means, see, you can do it. You are able. Ge gashketun. All right. And that is how you do that one. I hope you enjoyed that. I might sound like a lot. I've got a whole script on that document that is uploaded in the Google Classroom. And please, please, please go through the transparent language lessons. I spend a lot of time on those and I find them to be very helpful as a student learning myself. And I think that you will find them helpful too. So thank you for joining me. Bamapi.